Welcome back to Blacks in Motion. So yeah, I want to talk about a few athletes who suffered some injuries that pretty much halted their career. And I'm going to start off with what people will say is the biggest draft bust of all time. A lot of people find out that Michael Jordan was taken 3rd overall in the 1984 NBA draft. And they say, well, who were the guys that were drafted before him? Well, the number 1 overall pick was Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. So, okay, you make that argument. You say Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the greatest centers of all time. And back then, big men were even a bigger commodity for a team, even over today. So who was the number 2 pick? Who was the guy that was chosen right before Jordan? It was Sam Bowie, another big man out of Kentucky. Now, the problem with Sam Bowie was that he was actually injured in college, and he kind of told a small lie and a fib to say he was healthy to get into the NBA, and the Portland Trail Blazers took a chance on him, not knowing that he had a condition which made his legs susceptible to injury very easily. And that was the story of Sam Bowie, the guy that never really manufactured any type of production on the court because of his injuries. He later played for the New Jersey Nets, and then he retired after playing with the Lakers. He came out to be pretty serviceable, but for the most part to be a 7-foot guy with that much potential coming out of Kentucky, he fell flat because of injury. The next guy I want to talk about goes by the nickname Penny, real name Anthony Hardaway. Now, this guy burst onto the scene and was in a kind of a combo type attack out in Orlando with Shaquille O'Neal. He went on to be a 5-time All-Star. He also was 2 times named to the first team All-NBA squad. Yeah, Penny Hardaway was that guy. He had some awesome shoes with Nike. But by the time he got to the Phoenix Suns, he suffered a knee injury that basically ended his career. Yeah, he went on a couple of teams and became a journeyman, but for the most part, the hype that he started with was never manifested later on. He slowly became a bust and was never that guy that played alongside Shaquille O'Neal with the Orlando Magic again. Now, the number 1 guy that I felt suffered the most in contemporary times due to injury was Grant Hill. Look, Grant Hill was an All-American in college for Duke. He burst onto the scene with the Detroit Pistons, and this guy literally looked like the next Jordan. Now wait, I'm not saying that he was flying and high diving and doing all these things and dunking the ball, but he was dominant on the court and he had a very well-rounded game. So by the time it was time for him to be a free agent after his rookie contract, he wanted to go to Orlando. Soon after, he suffered an ankle injury. His injury was so bad, he had countless surgeries on his ankle. And even he had a surgery done to where the doctors actually went ahead and refractured it just so they can set it again. And literally to say, he was never the same. Grant Hill missed out on all of his years of his prime when he could have been dominating the NBA just like he was. Again, he was a 7-time All-Star, and he made the first team All-NBA squad 1 time, but that was only because the injuries messed him up. But check this out. Grant Hill was so good. His skill set was so high. Even after he was a veteran and had missed out on all this playing time, he extended his career and was a serviceable bench player for teams like the Phoenix Suns and the LA Clippers. Man, what it could have been like to see that guy healthy. Any of them guys I named to be healthy probably would have been a great thing. But hey, you may agree with me and you may not. You may think it might have been somebody else that suffered an injury that could have been great. Either way, let me hear from you. Email me, cliff@blackvideonews.com. I'm always eager to hear what you have to say about this sports world. Don't let me just tell it. Well, no, let me tell it to you, but then also let me hear what you have to say. And until next time, please always stay logged on to Blacks in Motion.